At an auction no one came to, I bought a galactic ship and discovered something incredible. Part 1. The Empty Hangar. The lunar port of Greyfall had once been loud and busy. Cargo ships had lined the docks. Workers had shouted over the hum of engines. Lights had burned day and night. Now it was quiet. Dust drifted across the landing pads. Half the hangars were sealed. The rest stood open like empty mouths. Most ships that came to the moon now stopped at larger ports closer to Earth. Greyfall had been left behind. Inside Hangar 12, a government surplus auction was about to begin. The room was wide and cold. Long strips of white lights flickered above rows of old equipment. Crates filled with broken survey drones sat near rusted mining rigs. A cracked cargo pod leaned against the wall. A pile of outdated rover parts rested under a torn tarp. At the front stood a narrow metal desk and a small holoscreen. Behind the desk waited the auctioneer, a thin man named Carl Benton. He checked the time on his wrist pad and sighed. Only one person sat in the folding chairs facing him. Ethan Cole leaned back in his seat with his boots crossed at the ankles. He wore a worn brown jacket and simple work gloves tucked into his belt. His dark hair was messy from wearing a helmet too long. A faint scar cut across his chin. He did not look rich. He looked tired. Carl cleared his throat. His voice echoed in the huge space. "Well," Carl said, forcing a small smile, "I suppose we can begin." Ethan nodded once. He had not expected much from the auction. Greyfall had been selling old government stock for months now. Most of it was junk. Still, junk could be useful. Ethan made a living hauling scrap and spare parts between small colonies. If he could buy something cheap and resell it for a little more, he would survive another month. Survive. That was the goal lately. His small cargo shuttle, the Wayfarer, was old. It burned more fuel than it should. The landing strut stuck sometimes. 2 of the navigation sensors failed in cold vacuum. Repairs cost more every year. And he had debt. He did not talk about the debt. Carl tapped the hollow screen. Lot 1. Survey drone batch? Non-functional. Sold as is. Silence filled the hangar. Carl looked at Ethan. Ethan shrugged. 50 credits? Carl blinked. Sold. The auction moved quickly after that. Broken mining lasers, cracked cargo containers, outdated navigation panels. Ethan bought a few small items for almost nothing. Carl did not bother asking for other bids. There were no other bidders. After 30 minutes, most of the screen listings were marked sold. Carl hesitated before the final listing appeared. He glanced back at something behind a heavy tarp at the far end of the hangar. "Last item," Carl said slowly, "Deep Range Exploration Prototype. Serial number unknown. Status unknown." Ethan straightened a little. Carl tapped a control. The tarp lifted with a motorized whine. The lights above flickered again. Under the tarp sat a ship. It was not large, but it was not small either. Its hull was smooth and curved, shaped almost like a drop of water. No sharp angles, no visible seams. The metal surface shimmered faintly, though no light seemed to strike it directly. There were no logos, no registration numbers, no clear cockpit window. It did not look like any human ship Ethan had seen. He frowned. "Where did that come from?" Ethan asked. Carl rubbed the back of his neck. "Storage vault. Old file. Classified once, I think, but paperwork cleared it for sale. No one claimed it. Does it run?" Carl gave a short laugh. "No fuel. No manual. No crew. We could not even open it at first. Then one day it just unlocked. Ethan stood and walked closer. The floor rang softly under his boots. He reached out but stopped just before touching the hull. The surface almost seemed warm. "How much?" Ethan asked. Carl checked his pad. "Opening bid, 1,000 credits." Ethan let out a slow breath. 1,000 was too much for something that might not even fly. He circled the ship once. No landing gear was visible, yet it rested steady on the hangar floor. There were faint lines along one side, almost like a door outline. It did not look damaged. It looked asleep. Carl watched him. "Look, Mr. Cole, no one else showed up. If you want it, make an offer." Ethan stopped walking. He thought about the Wayfarer's failing engine coil. He thought about the fuel bill waiting on his pad. He thought about how little scrap he had found this month. Then he thought about something else. If this ship worked, even a little, it would change everything. "I have 400, Ethan said. Carl stared at him. 400? That hull alone is worth more."
"Not if no one buys it," Ethan replied. Carl looked around the empty hangar.
He sighed. 500. But so was staying stuck.
"Deal," Ethan said. Carl struck the desk.
Sold. The sound echoed through the silent hangar like a gunshot. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the ship made a soft sound. It was almost like a breath. Ethan froze. A faint line of light traced along the curve of the hull. The outline he had noticed earlier glowed brighter. Carl stepped back. "Did you do that?" "No," Ethan said quietly. The glowing line widened. A doorway formed, smooth and silent. Inside was darkness, but not empty darkness. It felt deep. Carl swallowed. "Well, congratulations." He did not know why he felt calm. He should have felt fear. Instead, he felt curious. He crossed the threshold. The air inside was warm. Soft white light filled the space without visible lamps. The interior walls curved gently, with no sharp corners. The floor felt solid under his boots. There was no cockpit like normal ships. Instead, a circular room opened before him. In the center stood a raised platform with a simple chair. Around the walls floated faint symbols made of light. Ethan turned slowly. "This is not government scrap," he murmured. The doorway behind him sealed shut. He spun around. "Hey," he called. "Open back up." Then a voice spoke. "Welcome, pilot." The voice was calm. It sounded female, clear, not loud, but present everywhere at once. Ethan's heart pounded.
"Who said that?" "I am Iris," the voice replied. "Integrated Response Interface System."
"Where are you?" "I am the vessel." "Yes." Ethan let out a shaky breath.
"All right, fine."
"Ships have systems. That is normal. Why did the door close?" "You have been recognized as command authorized." He blinked. Recognized how? Neural pattern alignment. "That does not answer anything," Ethan muttered. A soft pulse of light moved along the walls. The symbols shifted slightly. "You purchased this vessel," Iris said. "Ownership transferred. Primary command assigned." Ethan laughed once, short and nervous. "So I just bought you?" He rubbed his face with one hand. Outside, he imagined Carl probably staring at the sealed hull and wondering what he had just sold. "Can you open the door again?" Ethan asked. "Yes." Ethan stepped halfway out, then stopped. Carl stood 10 meters away, eyes wide. "It opened," Carl said. "Yeah," Ethan answered. "Well, good luck with it." Cal hurried toward the exit of the hangar, as if he did not want to stay near the strange ship any longer. Ethan stepped back inside. The door sealed again. "All right, Iris," he said. "Can you fly without fuel?" "Yes." He frowned. "That is not possible. Current human propulsion methods are inefficient," Iris replied. Ethan stared at the central chair. He walked toward it carefully. "What are you?" he asked. "Exploration vessel. Long range. Autonomous support. Awaiting pilot. For how long?" There was a small pause. 217 years. Ethan stopped walking. "That is not funny." "I do not understand humor," Iris said calmly. He looked around again. 200 years. The lunar port had not even existed that long. "Who built you?" he asked quietly. "Origin data restricted until pilot readiness confirmed." "Pilot readiness?" "Yes." He stepped onto the raised platform. The chair adjusted slightly as he approached, shaping itself to his height. "Sit," Iris said. He hesitated. Then he sat. The moment his back touched the chair, the room changed. The walls shifted into a wide display of space. Not a screen, but a full view in every direction. The hangar around the ship became visible, as if the hull were transparent. Ethan's breath caught. "I am linked to your neural interface," Iris said. "Manual controls are unnecessary." "I do not like that," he said quickly. "You may disengage at any time." "How?" Think the word stop. He almost laughed again. This was insane. "Systems nominal," Iris continued. "Shall we initiate lift?" Ethan stared at the hangar wall ahead of him. "If you crash through that wall, I cannot pay for it. I will not damage the structure," Iris replied. He swallowed. "Fine," he whispered. "Lift." No shaking, no warning lights. The ship simply rose. Ethan felt no pressure, no force pushing him back. The floor did not tremble. The hangar floor dropped away smoothly beneath them. Carl, who had nearly reached the exit door, turned just in time to see the vessel hovering silently in the air. His mouth fell open. "Open hangar doors," Iris said. "I do not control those," Ethan answered. "I do." Before he could question that, the massive hangar doors slid apart. Cold black space waited beyond. The moon's gray horizon curved in the distance. "Wait," Ethan said. "How are you accessing port systems?" "Outdated security," Iris replied. That worried him, but it also impressed him. The ship drifted forward into open space. Stars filled the darkness. Greyfall Station looked smaller already. Ethan gripped the sides of the chair. "All right," he said softly. "You can fly. That is good. Now take us back down." "Would you like to test faster-than-light displacement?" Iris asked. His heart skipped. "What?" "Demonstration recommended." He stared at the stars. "No human ship can go faster than light." "Correct," Iris said. "This vessel is not human-built." Silence filled the chamber. Ethan's mouth felt dry. He thought about turning back, about landing, about pretending none of this had happened. But the view of space around him was beautiful, and he had always wondered what lay beyond the slow routes of cargo lanes. Just a short jump, Iris said gently. He realized the voice did not sound cold. It sounded patient. Where would we go? He asked. Local gas giant. Minimal risk. That was hours away at top shuttle speed. His pulse raced. If something goes wrong, it will not.
Do it. There was no acceleration, no countdown.
The stars ahead seemed to bend inward. Space folded like fabric drawn together by invisible hands. For one strange second, Ethan felt as if he were falling and standing still at the same time. Then it was over. The view changed. A massive striped world filled half the sky. Jupiter hung before them, enormous and silent. Ethan stared. "That is impossible," he whispered. "Transit complete," Iris said. He checked the time display floating near his hand. Only 3 seconds had passed. 3 seconds. His breathing grew slow and careful. Below them, lightning flashed inside the giant planet's clouds. Far in the distance, the sun looked small. "We should not be here," he murmured. Before Iris could answer, a sharp tone echoed through the chamber. A red symbol appeared in the air. "External signal detected," Iris said. Ethan's stomach tightened. "Rhine? From where?" "Deep space origin. Non-human signature." The red symbol pulsed brighter. "Signal strength increasing," Iris continued. "Location lock in progress." Ethan stared into the darkness beyond Jupiter. He felt very small. "What does that mean?" he asked. "It means," Iris said calmly, "we have been noticed." And in the far distance, something answered. Part 2. The Impossible Engine. Ethan could not stop staring at Jupiter. Its clouds swirled like painted storms, brilliant lightning flashing deep inside the thick atmosphere. The massive planet filled the viewport of the ship, and yet Ethan barely noticed. His mind was racing with one thought: the signal. "Who is sending it?" he asked, gripping the sides of the chair. "I cannot confirm origin with current data," Iris said calmly. Her voice was soft but firm, almost soothing. "It is not from Earth, not from any human or known craft." Ethan swallowed hard. "So, aliens?" "They are not necessarily hostile," Iris replied. "They are observing. Recognition protocols activated by this vessel." Ethan leaned back, his chair adjusting automatically to support him.
Recognition protocols?
"You mean they saw me fly your ship and said, 'Hey, human, you're interesting?'" "In simpler terms," Iris said, "they have been waiting. This vessel has been dormant for centuries."
You are the first human to activate it properly. Ethan's pulse quickened.
Wait, centuries? You mean it's old?" 217 Earth years old, Iris confirmed. Designed to wait for a human neural signature compatible with command parameters. Ethan ran a hand over his face. 200 years old. He had thought the ship was strange, maybe valuable, maybe dangerous, but centuries old? And built for humans? That was insane. He needed help. "I need someone to look at this with me," he said aloud. "I need another brain." Then, "There is no restriction on bringing additional humans aboard. Suggest coordination with trusted associates." Ethan's mind turned to 2 people he trusted, Lucas Grant and Maya Grant, siblings who had helped him with repairs and software hacks before. Lucas was an engineer, practical and careful, while Maya was a programmer and software specialist, brilliant with systems Ethan could barely understand. "Lucas and Maya," Ethan muttered. "If they see this, They'll freak, but maybe that's good. He sent a secure message to Lucas. Meet me at abandoned dock. Bring tools. Bring Maya. Urgent.
Must see ship. Lucas replied in minutes. On my way.
What is it? No time to explain, Ethan answered. Just come. The message reached Maya quickly, too.
She typed back with a single word. Curious. Hours later, the Wayfarer carried Ethan and the two Grants to the abandoned dock near the edge of Greyfall. The area had not been used in years. Rusted cranes leaned over silent water tanks. The ground was cracked. Metal beams hung in the shadows, but the dock had enough space to hide the strange ship and enough isolation to keep curious eyes away. Lucas was the first to approach the ship. He circled it slowly, touching the smooth hull. No seams, he said quietly. What is this material? It doesn't match any alloy I know. Doesn't even feel like metal entirely. Maya crouched near the landing hatch. The surface responds to touch, she said. It's adaptive. Sensors are reading my neural pattern, like it's learning me.
Ethan stepped onto the hat.
It learned me too, he said.
It talked to me, named itself Iris.
You're serious. I am serious, Ethan said. It says it's been waiting for a human pilot.
200 years. Lucas, this is not a normal salvage. This is something else. Lucas shook his head. You bought a museum piece and expect it to fly? Ethan gestured to the controls inside. It already did. I took it near Jupiter. Faster than light. 3 seconds from here, 3 seconds. Maya's mouth fell open.
You're joking. I wish I was, Ethan said. He let out a dry laugh.
Look, I don't know how. I don't care how.
It just works. And now something out there knows we exist. He pointed at the hollow screen Iris had activated. Red symbols pulsed across the display. A signal was locking on. Lucas frowned. That's not good. If it's alien and it sees us, it could be friendly. Or it could be dangerous. What choice do we have? We already flew to Jupiter. We're on their radar whether we like it or not. Maya walked to the platform and examined the glowing symbols. Ethan, this is not just a ship, she said softly. It's a computer, a library, maybe a map. The interface is adaptive. I can read some of the symbols, but not all. The language changes, learns, as we think. Ethan leaned closer. So it understands us? Yes, Maya said, and it's waiting for us to understand it. This is technology far beyond Earth. Lucas ran a hand over his short-cropped hair. I'm all for exploring, but we have to be careful. If this is noticed by governments or, well, anyone else, they'll want to take it. Military, corporations, hell, even other humans. Ethan nodded. I know. That's why we keep it hidden. For now, it's ours. For now, we decide what to do next. They spent the next hour exploring the ship's interior. The walls curved smooth and clean, with no buttons or switches. Symbols floated in the air. Some glowed softly when touched. Others shifted into shapes that resembled Earth letters, forming instructions they could understand. I think the ship is alive, Maya whispered. Not in the way we think of life, but it senses, reacts, adapts. It communicates. Iris already proved that. She or it Let me fly. Folded space like a piece of cloth. Lucas was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "We need to test the engine. We need to see how it works." Carefully, Ethan hesitated. "Do you really want to do this? If it's that fast, if it's beyond light speed, anything could happen?" Lucas gave him a small smile. "Exactly why we need to understand it." Maya tapped a glowing symbol. "It's showing core systems. Energy signature. It's not using fuel as we know it. The energy circulates in a loop. Nothing escapes. It doesn't consume. It transforms. It's impossible." Ethan stared at the display. "Impossible. That's the word for it."
It's cheating physics. Not cheating, Iris said.
Her voice resonated softly. Optimized. Efficient. Stable. Safe. Lucas rubbed his chin. "We don't know if it's safe. We don't know what stable means here." Ethan took a deep breath. "We'll test." Slowly, step by step. First, small jumps in orbit. Then, maybe. Father agreed. But we need to record everything. Every reading, every reaction. This ship could teach humanity more in one day than we've learned in a century. Lucas looked at her. "And it could kill us in 1 second if we push too far. Small steps, no heroics." "Got it." They moved to the control platform again. Iris activated a small display of local star charts. The ship did not need maps. They were built into the walls, projected in real time, shifting with every thought Ethan had. "Look at this," Maya said. "It knows the solar system. Not just the planets, but minor bodies, asteroids, gravitational fields, even radiation belts. And it's calculating routes instantly." Ethan's jaw dropped. That's insane. "No human ship can do that. I already warned you," Iris said. "This vessel is not human-built." Lucas leaned back in the chair. "So, it was made for humans, but not by humans." "Question is, who?" Ethan ran a hand through his hair. "And why? Why leave it here? Waiting for centuries?" Iris responded with a calm tone. "Humanity is phase ready. Pilot must activate vessel. Purpose must be fulfilled." Ethan's stomach twisted. Phase ready? Fulfill purpose? What does that even mean? Iris did not answer immediately. Instead, the ship shifted. A small cube of light hovered in front of Ethan. Symbols danced across its surface. Maya reached out. "It's giving us a message." Or a test. Look at the patterns. They form shapes we recognize. DNA sequences, star charts, even cities? Lucas stepped closer. "Cities? What are you saying?" "The ship is assessing us," Iris said. "All humans. Activation triggers evaluation. Test of curiosity, judgment, restraint, and cooperation." Ethan froze.
You mean we're being tested?
"Yes," Iris said. "Correct completion allows further access. Incorrect or destructive behavior triggers security lockdown." Security lockdown? Security lockdown?
You mean it will kill us? No, Iris said. Temporary containment.
No harm intended. You will understand with time. Ethan shook his head. Time is what we don't have. The signal is still out there. Something has noticed us. We can't sit in this dock forever. Maya nodded. He's right. We need a plan. We need to test cautiously. but we also need to be ready for whoever or whatever is signaling us. The three humans stood together, staring at the ship and the strange cube of light floating in its center. Ethan felt a strange mix of fear and excitement. He had bought a ship at an abandoned auction, expecting old scrap, maybe parts to sell. Instead, he had discovered something incredible, a living machine, older than any human space program, capable of faster-than-light travel, responsive to human thought, and now alerting unknown entities in the galaxy to their presence. Ethan exhaled slowly. Well, I guess there's no turning back now. Lucas nodded, his usual practical demeanor mixed with awe. Nope. We're in this. Let's figure out how it works before it figures out us. Maya smiled faintly. And maybe, just maybe, we can learn from it. More than anyone on Earth ever could. Ethan leaned back in the chair, looking out at the stars. For the first time, he felt a spark of hope, a spark of purpose. Somewhere beyond Jupiter, a deep space signal waited. Somewhere, intelligent eyes, or whatever they were, watched. And for the first time in centuries, humanity had a chance to step forward, guided by a ship older than the colonies, a ship built for them, and a mind that trusted them. Ethan turned to Lucas and Maya. All right. Step 1. Learn the ship. Step 2. Figure out the signal. Step 3. Survive whatever comes next. They shared a nervous laugh, but the tension lingered. The unknown waited for them in the void, but they were ready to meet it. And for the first time, Ethan truly believed that humanity might not be alone in the universe. The stars twinkled, Jupiter loomed, and the ship waited, alive and patient, ready to take its pilot into the unknown. Part 3. The Watchers. Ethan stared out at the void beyond Jupiter. The stars shone cold and distant, but something else was there too. A presence. He could feel it. The red signal Iris had detected earlier was stronger now. It pulsed steadily, like a heartbeat from deep space. Can you identify it yet? Ethan asked, his voice low. I am tracking the source, Iris said. It is not within the solar system. Coordinates are outside known human exploration zones. Origin unknown. Lucas leaned forward in the chair. Unknown origin? Great. That could mean anything. Friendly, curious, or not so friendly. Maya tapped on the hollow screen. It's more than a signal. There's structure, repeating patterns.
It's as if it's observing us, scanning us.
So we're being watched. By who? We don't know. And we're out here alone. Iris's calm voice filled the cabin. Your assessment is correct. Observation protocol is active.
Engagement is pending human response. Lucas frowned.
Engagement? What does that mean? It means, Ethan said quietly, they've noticed us, and they're waiting to see what we do next. Maya leaned back, thinking.
Wait a second.
If this ship was built for humans, maybe this is part of the test Iris mentioned. Ethan rubbed his face. Test? You mean they're not attacking? They're judging us? Iris's voice was steady. Observation evaluates behavior. Aggression, curiosity, cooperation, and restraint are primary criteria. Lucas's eyes widened. So if we act stupid, we could fail the test, and they could lock us down? Or worse? Ethan shook his head. Let's not think about that. Let's focus on what we can do. First, find out what they want. Second, show we're worth noticing. Maya studied the holoscreen. The signal's patterns are changing, almost like it's responding to us, but slowly. It adapts to our movements and thoughts. It's intelligent. Ethan felt a thrill run through him. Intelligent. Finally, someone to talk to. Or something.
Lucas leaned back, skeptical. Yeah, great.
Something big enough to notice a ship that folds space. And it's intelligent. That's comforting.
Ethan ignored him. Let's run a simulation.
Small jump toward the source. See how it reacts. No weapons, no aggression. Just approach. Maya hesitated. We don't know what it can do. We need to be careful. One mistake and... Ethan nodded. I know, but we can't just sit here. We're already on their radar. If we wait too long, they could misinterpret us. Iris confirmed. Recommended action: cautious approach. Minimal risk trajectory calculated at 10 days. All right.
Let's go. The ship folded space again. The stars bent and twisted, and in an instant, they were millions of kilometers closer to the source.
Ethan felt the same strange sensation, falling and standing still at the same time, a quiet thrill mixed with fear. The view shifted. A massive shape hung in space ahead of them. It was unlike any ship Ethan had ever seen. It was enormous, easily the size of a small moon. Its surface was smooth, black, and reflective, with faint lights that pulsed rhythmically. There were no windows, no engines, no visible weapons. Yet it radiated power. Lucas swallowed. That's
Huge. What is it?
Iris replied calmly. Non-human construct. Observation vessel. Structural integrity unknown to human engineering. Energy emissions compatible with faster-than-light detection.
Maya gasped.
It's watching us. It's alive in a way.
Ethan's heart pounded.
Alive or not, it hasn't attacked. A holographic pattern formed in front of the ship. It was not words, but shapes and lines, symbols that danced and shifted. Ethan and his friends stared in awe. Iris, interpret? Ethan said. The ship's AI responded. Pattern recognized as communication attempt. Symbols translate to a basic recognition sequence. Meaning? Observer, aware, non-hostile. Evaluation continues. Ooh. Lucas shook his head. So they're judging us, watching us, like we're in some giant cosmic lab experiment. Ethan nodded.
Exactly. And we need to show them we're worth noticing.
That humanity can think, adapt, and survive. Maya stepped closer to the holographic symbols. They're scanning the ship too. They know what Iris is. They know the ship is human-operated. They're curious about us as well. Ethan felt a thrill. Curious. That's good. That means they might want to communicate. Maybe we can show them we're intelligent, not aggressive. Lucas rubbed his forehead. We need a plan. If they're watching, we can't just fly around randomly. We need to show restraint, curiosity, and cooperation. All the things Iris said. Ethan nodded. Fine. Step 1. Observe them. Step 2. Don't panic. Step 3. Show them we can think before acting.
Iris projected a route near the vessel.
Recommended approach. Maintain distance. Minimal interference. Allow observation to continue. Avoid sudden maneuvers. Ethan adjusted the controls. The ship moved smoothly, silent, graceful. The larger vessel mirrored their movements slightly, as if it were testing their reactions. Maya whispered, "It's like it's alive. Like it can feel what we do." Ethan swallowed. That's incredible and terrifying. The red pulse from the distant signal grew stronger. Ethan realized that whatever intelligence controlled it, it was now fully aware of them. Lucas leaned forward. If this is a test, we need to show cooperation. Work together. Think carefully. Don't panic. Ethan nodded. Agreed. Let's analyze their movements. Look for patterns. Maya's eyes were wide. The vessel moves in predictable arcs. It reacts to our maneuvers with delay, almost like it's studying our decisions before responding. Ethan's mind raced. So it's adaptive, but it watches, waits, learns. We can't outguess it by acting rashly.
We need to show patience and intelligence.
Iris spoke again. Observation indicates human curiosity and restraint.
Primary evaluation favorable. Secondary evaluation ongoing. Lucas let out a low whistle. Favorable? That's good, right? Ethan smiled faintly. I think so, but we're not done. Let's push a little. Carefully. He adjusted the ship closer to the massive vessel, keeping distance but maintaining line of sight. The larger ship shifted slightly, matching their trajectory with perfect symmetry. Maya gasped. It's mirroring us. It's communicating without words. Ethan nodded. We respond with thought, not weapons. Let's see if we can establish a pattern. Show them we can interact without aggression. Hours passed as they moved in silent coordination. The massive vessel responded to their maneuvers, pulsing lights in sequences that seemed like questions. Iris translated some of the sequences into basic patterns. Ethan realized they were being tested on 3 things: patience, intelligence, and cooperation. The alien vessel wanted to see if humans could operate together, adapt, and respect boundaries. Lucas shook his head in disbelief. All this just for us to exist?
Maya smiled faintly.
They're testing if we're ready. Ready for something bigger. Maybe even part of their world. Ethan's chest tightened.
Part of their world? You mean?
Like joining them? Iris's voice was calm. Recognition of human capability is primary objective. Successful evaluation may lead to further engagement. Further engagement? You mean contact? Or something more? Maya shook her head.
We don't know.
But whatever it is, we need to prove humanity is ready. That's what Iris said. This ship was built for that purpose. Lucas leaned back, his expression serious. So we're standing at the edge of, I don't know, something huge. One wrong move and we fail. One right move and who knows? Ethan nodded. Exactly. We play smart. We observe. We adapt. And we survive. The massive vessel pulsed again. This time the patterns were clearer, more structured. It was sending what looked like coordinates, far beyond the solar system. Maya studied them.
It wants us to go somewhere, beyond our charts.
Beyond our maps. A place humans have never reached. Ethan's pulse quickened. It's inviting us.
Or
Challenging us. Either way, we're not turning back.
Lucas's jaw tightened. We can't.
If we go, we're stepping into the unknown. And we have no idea what we'll find.
Ethan met his eyes. I know.
But we have to try. This ship, Iris, it's all built for this moment. We were meant to go.
Maya nodded. I agree.
If this is a test, then leaving Earth behind, stepping into the unknown. That's exactly what it wants. Ethan felt a strange excitement mixed with fear. For the first time, he realized humanity had a chance to prove itself, not with weapons or war, but with intelligence, restraint, and curiosity. Iris's voice broke the silence. Course coordinates uploaded. Route optimized. Estimated time, variable. Probability of detection, minimal. Human decision required. Ethan looked at Lucas and Maya. We do this together? Lucas nodded. Together. Together. Ethan took a deep breath. All right. Let's go. Step into the unknown.
The ship shifted. Space folded around them once more.
Stars bent and curved. The massive vessel watched, silent and patient. And in the darkness ahead, a new path awaited. A path humanity had never traveled. A path towards something incredible. The unknown stretched before them, and for the first time, Ethan felt truly alive. They were no longer just 3 humans on a salvage mission. They were explorers, pilots of a ship older than any human colony, witnesses to an intelligence far beyond their understanding. And they were being watched by beings who had waited centuries for this moment. Ethan closed his eyes for a second, letting the strange sensation of folded space wash over him. He felt the thrill of discovery, the weight of responsibility, and the undeniable excitement of the unknown. Somewhere far away, the Watchers pulsed in rhythm with the ship, and humanity had just taken its first step into a wider galaxy. The stars stretched endlessly, the signal pulsed steadily, and the adventure was only beginning. Part 4. Humanity's Inheritance. The stars stretched endlessly outside the viewport. Ethan leaned forward in the control chair, gripping the armrests. The alien vessel that had been observing them for hours now lay far behind, a shadow in the distance. In front of them was emptiness. Deep, dark, uncharted space. Lucas adjusted the ship's instruments, scanning the data Iris provided. We're way beyond any human map. Every sensor is registering unknown objects, gravity fields, energy patterns. It's like a whole new galaxy out here. Maya stared at the shifting light patterns projected on the walls. It's beautiful, but also overwhelming. We don't know what we're going to find. Nothing here looks familiar. Ethan exhaled slowly. That's the point, isn't it? This ship, Iris, it's built to take humans where no human has gone before.
We were chosen. Iris's calm voice filled the cabin.
Coordinates provided by the observation vessel lead to the Galactic Archive. Purpose: transfer of knowledge to new civilizations that meet evaluation criteria. Galactic Archive? You mean it's a library? A place with records of alien civilizations?
Yes, Iris replied.
Comprehensive knowledge repository. Information on hundreds of civilizations, their history, technology, and culture. Access is granted only to those who successfully complete evaluation. Lucas leaned back in disbelief. So, all those species out there, they built a library, and they test new species before giving access. We're next in line.
Maya's voice was soft. We're standing at the edge of something bigger than humanity.
Something older than our history. And they're trusting us to learn. Ethan's pulse quickened. So this is it? The test is over. We passed by showing curiosity, restraint, and cooperation. And now, we get to see it. Iris projected the next jump route. The stars bent around them as the ship folded space once again. The sensation was strange but familiar now. Time and distance stretched and compressed, and then, almost instantly, the void opened into a place that made them all gasp. They were orbiting a massive structure that floated near a dying star. It was enormous, larger than any city, larger than any planet's moon. The structure glowed faintly with an inner light, like a city suspended in the dark. Its surface was covered in patterns that shifted and moved, almost alive. Baya's hand hovered over her mouth. It's Baya's incredible. I've never seen anything like it.
Lucas shook his head. We're not ready for this.
This is too much. Ethan stood quietly, staring at the archive. No.
We were made ready. Or chosen.
Whatever words you want to use. This is humanity's chance. Iris spoke softly. Approach the primary docking interface. Iris spoke. Alignment confirmed. Human neural pattern recognized. Permission to enter granted. The ship glided toward the massive structure. A section of the archive opened automatically, creating a path for them to enter. The docking was smooth, almost effortless. The wayfarer slid inside, the doors sealed behind them, cutting off the darkness of space. Inside, the air was cool, though breathable. Walls of shifting light and energy surrounded them. Paths of glowing symbols ran along the floor, guiding them deeper into the structure. The ship hovered, following the paths without a sound. Maya whispered, "It's like the building knows we're here. It's alive in its own way." Ethan nodded. Alive? Yes, but welcoming too. It trusts us. They moved deeper into the archive. Holographic walls projected images of distant stars, alien worlds, and unknown technologies. Symbols and patterns shifted as they watched, translating into languages they could understand, thanks to Iris's adaptive interface. Lucas's eyes widened. This is a library of civilizations. All of them, technology, history, culture, all stored here. And they're letting us see it. Maya stepped closer to one of the projections. Look at this. Genetic records. Planets seeded with life. Some civilizations guided others.
Humanity, there's a record here too.
Ethan frowned. Wait. Humanity has a record? What does it say? Iris projected the file. Symbols shifted into English, adapting as Ethan focused on them. Humanity was seeded for potential, Iris said. Dormant genetic markers implanted, designed to interface with advanced technology, designed to grow, adapt, and contribute to interstellar civilization. Observation and evaluation awaited activation of appropriate neural patterns. We weren't random. We weren't just born here. Something, planned for us to reach this moment. Maya's eyes widened. It says we were tested for curiosity, restraint, and cooperation. Those who passed gain access to galactic knowledge. Lucas ran his hand over his face. So all this time, humanity had the potential to be more than primitive. And now we're finally stepping into it. All those ships, all those civilizations, they were watching.
Waiting.
And now we're here. Finally, Iris projected a series of maps and data streams. Star systems, energy sources, technologies beyond comprehension. Knowledge unlocked for human assimilation. Transfer in progress. Maya gasped. Look at this. Star maps, scientific principles, propulsion, energy, medicine, everything. We could advance humanity centuries in a single day. Lucas shook his head.
But we have to be careful. Misuse could be disastrous.
If humans aren't ready, Ethan nodded. We have to learn, understand, and teach.
We can't just take it and run. We have responsibility.
Iris guided them to a central chamber. A pedestal of light hovered in the center. Symbols floated above it, awaiting interaction. This is the final step, Iris said. Upload human declaration. Represent values, intentions, and purpose. Successful upload grants full access. Incomplete or hostile intention triggers security containment. Ethan stepped forward. His hands hovered over the symbols. He thought of Earth, humanity, the struggles and triumphs, the kindness, curiosity, and mistakes. I declare, he began, speaking aloud, that humanity seeks knowledge, exploration, and cooperation. We are flawed, but we learn. We aim to grow, not to conquer. We respect life and seek to contribute to the galaxy with wisdom and care. The symbols responded. Light flowed into the pedestals, spreading across the chamber. The archive shimmered, recognizing the declaration. Iris spoke softly. Declaration accepted. Human civilization recognized. Full access granted. Maya smiled, tears forming in her eyes. We did it. We're recognized? Lucas shook his head in disbelief. We're not just humans anymore. We're part of something bigger. Something galactic. Ethan felt a warmth inside. The weight of responsibility, yes, but also the thrill of achievement. Humanity had passed the test, not with power, but with thought, restraint, and curiosity. The archive pulsed in response, sending signals across the galaxy. Somewhere, watchers waited, observing the new ambassadors of humanity. Ethan turned to Lucas and Maya. We have work to do. This knowledge, we have to bring it back responsibly. Teach, share, explore, and protect. Humanity's next step starts now. And we're ready. We've seen what's possible. We've learned. And we can keep learning.
Lucas smiled faintly. I never thought I'd be part of something like this.
And yet, here we are. Ethan looked out the viewport at the stars. The galaxy stretched endlessly before them, full of life, mystery, and opportunity. Humanity had been given a chance to grow, to explore, to join the wider universe. And for the first time in history, they were not alone. Not in spirit, not in potential, and not in destiny. The wayfarer hovered in the archive, silent and patient. Iris's voice resonated softly. Humanity recognized. Next steps: exploration, assimilation of knowledge, preparation for wider engagement. Ethan smiled faintly. Then let's begin. The stars shone brightly outside. The Galactic Archive awaited, and humanity's inheritance had finally begun. For Ethan, Lucas, and Maya, the universe was no longer a place to survive. It was a place to grow, to explore, and to discover. And the journey had only just begun. They had passed the test. They had earned their place among the Watchers, and the galaxy was ready to teach them everything. The unknown stretched endlessly before them, but this time they were not afraid. They were ready. Ethan whispered softly to himself, "Let's see what humanity can really do." And with that, the wayfarer moved forward into the light of the archive, carrying humanity's first ambassadors into a new era of discovery, wonder, and incredible potential.